Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, LTA says wheel tax exemptions are out of the question. Colonel Samuel says he wants time out to rest. And the Archbishop's first day in office. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. The Land Transport Authority is turning away requests for wheel tax exemptions by vehicle owners. The authority insists this tax payment is mandatory and people who can't pay have only one option: deregister the vehicle. As Akosita Tale reports, LTA says it's receiving hundreds of such requests.
In recent weeks, the authority has received numerous requests, people saying they can't afford to pay wheel tax due to financial problems.
We don't operate this way. Every year, a wheel tax expires and they must know and they must show consideration in terms of paying the wheel tax. This is a source of revenue to the organization, and it's also revenue to the government.
Sokia says while the LTA doesn't offer wheel tax exemptions, there is a system in place. Tell them you can pay, surrender your number plates and deregister your vehicle.
Nothing comes for free, and driving on state-owned roads can be allowed if one hasn't paid to use it, even if a vehicle hasn't been on the road for a while, say a month or two. Wheel tax still accumulates.
It's just a question of being responsible. If they have a vehicle, they must know and have a knowledge of what time their wheel tax will expire. Because basically asking for an exemption or a waiver, we won't accept it.
The idea behind the wheel tax is that the money is used to maintain and upgrade roads around Fiji. The LTA is adamant that exemptions are out of the question. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
The board of the Fiji Hardwood Corporation has made some important changes in the leadership of the company. A government statement confirms acting CEO Simeone Singava, acting CFO Mohammed Rafiq, and personnel officer Netani Koto have been terminated. The action is based on reviews submitted by the Forestland Group, engaged by the FHLC board to assist with the restructure. The changes have been made to modernize the mahogany industry, make it profitable, and introduce transparency. Fiji Hardwood senior management will have to lead the company through significant changes, and the board believes the company needs new leadership free of the antiquated systems and unprofitable operations of the past. Former local government and housing minister Colonel Samuel Asamor says he will be taking a break for about a month after resigning from his post. Samuel told FBC News that he decided it was time to leave as age has caught up with him and he needs complete rest. He says once he has had some time to rest, he might look for a job or commit himself to social work. A government statement yesterday confirmed Colonel Samuel resigned due to personal reasons, and the Attorney General Aisaid Kayum will act as the Minister for Local Government until a successor is appointed. Newly ordained Archbishop of the Catholic Church, Father Peter Loy Chong, took up office today. Mika Longa reports on how the Archbishop has big shoes to fill, taking over from Archbishop Petero Matada, who retired from the position.
His first touch of the door to his office. Archbishop Peter Chong was greeted by staff at the Catholic head office with a traditional itoke ceremony. The head of the Catholic Church in Fiji feels confident and excited entering the high office from where he will serve his flock.
I'm ready and looking forward to working with the members of the office, or the curia as we call it in Roman Catholic tradition.
Archbishop Peter Chong's vision for the church under his leadership is based on what he calls the teaching and sanctifying ministries and governance.
Then each bishop will then have to translate, how do you teach? How do you make people holy? And how do you govern? And so each bishop then is faced with the challenge of trying to find a way to teach, to make holy, to govern in the light of the local context.
Archbishop Peter Chong's immediate plan is to resize the Catholic Church's administration.
If I see that there is a gap, then that would be the thing, one of the things that I would address, to see that that particular field is filled up, or if there is an overemphasis or overstuffing in one department, that that's the kind of adjustment that I will look.
Staff members had been expecting the changes.
Well, I knew that the change was coming. It was 5 years ago.
It's an honor to be working with him, even though it may be for a little while.
In this work, your faith and relationship with God has to be really a personal, deep one. To be able to lead and to shepherd the people of God in that office.
The new Archbishop will serve here for the next 24 years. He will be assisted by a council of priests and 2 other bodies within the Catholic Church. Mikalonga, FBC News.
The Fiji police force is yet to decide on a Methodist Church request to have a fully fledged Mboseko Viti like in previous years. The church wants to reinstate the week-long carnival with choir competitions, the annual soli and food stalls to fundraise for church projects. Assistant Commissioner of Police Rusiate Tundravu told FBC News that they have seen the proposal from the Methodist Church, but the Commissioner Brigadier Iowane Naivalurua has yet to decide. The 2-week-long Mboseko Viti was stopped in 2009. Coming up after the break, a fire last week has left a family of 12 living in tents.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners. Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Nisa mulu binaka, oya wane kamanalangi, oni nandorungo diao, may nadiwa kinarua na bisinga, may namoniti kinabangarumbu, kaya na Radio Fiji 1 nandomay biti bongani biyanyano. Nama katalangana bengo na sasibiani na tinakaloka na bimbongi ni bukilulu, kaya na bima maniwalo na bimbongi ni bakaruwai, may nambuza ni balo, ningay namaka.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Police now have a team investigating the sale of pirated DVDs of FBC's coverage of the Fiji versus the Classic All Blacks game. FBC News has today found more outlets selling the game, this time in Nausori. Chanel Sivan has more.
This is Rama's video in Nausori. They too have copies of the pirated DVDs. When confronted by FBC News, the outlet confessed they have no license.
I just bought this from your shop and I paid for it. Do you know where you got this from? Could you reveal to us?
We bought from this, from Exotic Movie World.
How much did you buy it for?
$3.
When did you buy this?
On Monday.
On Monday? How many copies have you sold so far?
Just 2.
You sold 2 copies only?
2 copies.
How much are you selling this for?
$3.
$3. Will you be removing this from your shelf now?
Just now.
Just now?
Just now.
And do you have the license to sell this?
No.
Do you know you can be fined?
Yeah, I know.
You know, you need to have a copyright license to sell this. I mean, under the said you could be jailed for 2 years.
Okay, I'll never sell this copy.
What's your name again?
Ritesh.
Yes, we do confirm receiving the report at our Totonga police station last week on Friday. As of now, a special team has been set up to investigate the case, including the investigating officer. And as from this morning, they have started visiting various DVD outlets in the Suva area.
A man claiming to be the operations officer of Exotic Electro Movie World, Sandeep Sharma, told us that they are disappointed with the branch manager and staff will be disciplined. Sharma also offered to make a deal with Fiji Broadcasting Corporation to buy the rights to sell the DVDs of Fiji versus Classic All Blacks game and for the Fiji Fact. Company owner Nitin Nilesh Prasad still refuses to come on camera. It's not even 1 week since FBC News confronted one outlet in Suva of Exotic Electro Movie World. Now, just 10 miles away here in Nausori, we just purchased 3 DVDs for $3. Chanel Sivan, FBC News.
A Nandi family has been living in tents for almost a week now after their house was destroyed in a fire last Wednesday. Nilesh Raj and his extended family of 12 are struggling to cope with the disaster and say they won't be able to recover without assistance. Christopher Chand reports.
This makeshift shed and these tents have become their shelter. The family lost everything in the fire.
It's really difficult for us since we have a family and we have kids. Small kids, and the kids are going to school, and it's really, I can't describe what is going through us.
Nilesh and his brother Avinesh were living next to each other. Both their houses were burnt down. The disaster has hit the family hard. With all hope gone, they're trying to gather courage and move on with life.
We have to adjust because since we don't have anything, so we are slowly adjusting.
The two brothers have had to take time away from work to rebuild, but there's not nearly enough material to erect a home for 12 people.
If even we could have saved something, at least we think something is there for us. But you can see everything is bent down. So if anything, any assistance come from anyone, it will be very grateful for us.
This family was managing to get by before the tragedy struck. They barely have the resources to manage on a day-to-day basis, let alone get their lives back on track. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Lessons learned from Cyclone Evan are now being used to come up with ways to be better prepared for disasters. A post-disaster assessment by the National Disaster Management Office will highlight how we can better coordinate and minimize risks from future disasters. Vasita Kotewasawasa reports.
The assessment asks some basic questions and the answers will address loopholes in getting assistance to affected Fijians.
How do we prepare for next disaster? Where do we get funding? How do we rope in the private sector?
Natural disasters can't be prevented, but massive damage and risks can be mitigated. How? That's what this meeting will decide.
It's more to do with helping us to prepare for it and also to get a total cost of not only on damages alone, but look at also damages and losses.
The Permanent Secretary says all stakeholders need to know what is expected of them during emergencies.
We expect cyclones every year. We have not had any experience in tsunamis and other disasters. We have floods. So there are different areas of different focus on different disasters. But I guess the whole issue is for us to be prepared, the preparedness.
Details of the damage and losses from Cyclone Evan were also discussed at the meeting. It's hoped the lessons learned from here will be put into practice in times of natural disasters. Wasita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
The LTA is taking its 2 speed cameras to Vanua level this week to take a look at northern drivers. Until now, the 2 cameras have been used only on Viti level. LTA spokesperson Ilyas Sokia says speeding drivers will have to be wary as speed cameras will be placed at various locations and they can pick up more than just a vehicle's speed. The cameras also can note the use of seatbelts, talking on mobile phones while driving, and other visible violations.
They'll be roving from Sabu to Sanganga to Lambasa and along Buddha areas and all major roads in Vanua level. So within this week, these few days, they'll be visible, mostly in the north.
Bookings for speeding in Viti level have seen a huge increase since the speed cameras were introduced. President Ratue Peli Nailatikau today received the credentials of Georgia's non-resident ambassador to Fiji. Vladimir Konstantinidi is the first Georgian ambassador to Fiji after diplomatic ties were established between the two nations in 2010. The Georgian government has awarded 6 Fiji students scholarships to study medicine in Georgia through the Public Service Commission. Fiji's ambassador to Brussels, Pedeli Vothe, is accredited to Georgia. That time again, Jamie is here for Tuesday Night Sports. What's the latest you have for us?
Good evening. Coming up tonight, we take a look at how Prince Charles Park is shaping up for the Fiji Fect and how Fiji hockey plans to keep regular competition alive. Stay with us.
Naiwasingaw na niba katara, baka binibinatay. Bola. Oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia umena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina vagarumbuka. Kako ni valata na nomu suini sari na kaisa moriando loloma leone vani ni nau. Omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina vagarumbuka ena Bula FM number 2 ena sere.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back. This is FBC Sports. Made famous by Man Mountains, Mesake Rasari and Simisi Naevo, securing possession from kickoffs has become a main ploy for teams in the game of sevens rugby. And at this year's Rugby World Cup in Russia, Fiji will be relying on the hands of a seasoned rugger to contest the high balls. Talendau Dakadaka reports.
He has been a revelation to Fiji rugby ever since making his debut for the Flying Fijians against Tonga in 2009. Renowned for his ability to contest the high balls as well as offloading the tackle, there was no doubt that Leone Nakarao would be named in the 12-member squad.
I'm happy to be included again for the sevens team to Moscow for the Rugby World Cup sevens.
With 1 week to go till their first game, the team has identified one area that other teams have picked up on.
Doing very well because you can see on the TV that every team is coping. Fiji's contesting high balls in kickoffs for possession, and the Fiji team are working very hard, and Fiji team know that we have to work hard if we want the Melrose Cup back in Fiji.
Nakarao's abilities will no doubt be essential to Fiji's game plan in Moscow. He is expected to add balance to a powerful forward pack. Talendo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
At 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, the clash between the Fiji Rugby Under-20s and Samoa will be the most important for both teams in this year's Junior World Championship in France. They will compete in the first semi-final in the 9th place playoff, while USA takes on Scotland in the second. All four sides fighting to stay in the top 10 teams in the Junior World Cup. Baby Flying Fijians coach William Ngandolo has made 5 changes to his lineup. This is a match Fiji can't afford to lose if they want to improve their rankings.
Comes in because no one wants to be relegated to the Junior World Trophy competition. We can compete with these teams. It's just a matter of getting our acts together and sticking to the game plan that's been laid out by the coaches.
The losing team from the 11th place playoff will be relegated to the Junior World Trophy competition next year. The Nadi Town Council has assured that Prince Charles Park will be ready to host the resumption of the Vodafone Fiji Fact from Friday. The ground has been without floodlights since last year, but the man responsible says this will be up and running by today. Indra Singh has more.
All questions on whether Prince Charles Park will be ready this weekend have been laid to rest. The park, which was damaged during Cyclone Evan last year, has been without floodlights, and other minor works were being carried out at the grounds.
After a discussion with Fiji Football, I assured Mr. President that we will make sure that the towers will be up and grounds will be ready. And on Friday afternoon, that confirmation was delivered to the Fiji Football Association, and in the weekend we have worked, and I can tell you now that by this afternoon all these 3 towers will be up and we are ready for the Fiji Fact.
This was a major concern which Bala says has been resolved, and other final touches were being applied to the venue. Fans can expect the resumption of the Fiji Fact to be played on excellent conditions, with these workers working overtime to ensure the venue is all ready to go.
Workers here at Nadi Town Council, they have done a very good job as far as ground is concerned, and it's on a tip-top condition. And I can assure all the teams that will come and play here that this will be different ground from what used to be.
Added to this, the Jet Set town is now ready to host its first tournament since 2009.
I have given my assurance to Fiji Football Association, and I will make sure that all those conditions that were laid between Fiji Football Association and Nindi Town Council are met.
So thumbs up given to the venue by the man responsible. Now it's time to see who reigns supreme on Sunday afternoon. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
At the beginning of this year, Fiji hockey was off to a good start by competing in the second round of the World Series League in India. But now halfway into 2013, that momentum has slowed down after it was decided to host the Oceania Pacific Cup every 2 years. As Elena McDonald reports, officials will now try to build excitement this season by revamping local competition.
The Fiji women will have to wait until 2014 to defend their OPC title, while the men work on a gold medal win. Although there's no OPC this year, officials are hoping to pencil in another international event to keep national reps occupied.
The President, Dr. Mitchell, is away in Europe right now. I think when he gets back, he'll probably brief us on that. We're hoping to have a tournament or Australian team, I think, touring Fiji in December, because we're now, the OPC is moved to 2014.
In the meantime, the 20th Valerine Deveta Memorial Tournament will be played this weekend, and organisers have planned a special reward for a lucky hockey duo.
Giving out a scholarship for young children for just to help them towards education and also to help them from home to the hockey turf for their training.
Competition is even expected to be tougher this year, with tight league games being held recently.
Any team that comes in with the full member team should be able to give ventures a good run.
So it's back to the local stuff for Fiji hockey, and hopefully the start for better things to come next year. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
That was your Tuesday night sports. It's back to Jackie now for business.
Fiji's value-added coconut products are attracting buyers overseas. Agriculture officer in charge of the new whole nut processing center in Mutaviuni, Susana Yalikanadea, told FBC News interest has been shown from Australia, Korea and the Solomon Islands. Yalikanadea says there is demand for coconut virgin oil in the international market. Locals are being trained to improve on the standard of their products, particularly virgin oil.
We need to improve on the quality and on the quantity. We are organizing a market so that when they go out, they produce, we buy from them, this market, and distribute locally as well as to export.
The Whole Nut Processing Center recently produced 64 different products from coconut husks, flesh and shell. Weather time now. Jen, looks like we had a bit of rain in Suva today.
Yes, Jackie, we did have some showers in the capital this afternoon. But other than that, and the clouds over Savu and Lombasa, conditions were fine. Temperatures were even across the chart today. Lautoka and Lombasa were on 31 degrees, the highest, while Suva had the lowest with 29. Now, we've had some chilly nights the past few weeks, so I suggest you keep yourselves nice and snug in some warm clothing. Fairly predictable weather tomorrow. A few of the major centers are going to get some rain, but overall it should be sunny throughout the country. Yesterday's photo was taken off the Nausori Highlands, and today it's a shot of the Naitasiri Highlands heading towards Dolui Suva. Wow! Feels like I'm in the middle of a lush tropical rainforest. Great job, John Selira. Thanks for thinking of us on your trip. That's weather. Stay safe, stay smiling, and keep those photos coming.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And recapping the headlines, senior executives of Fiji Hardwood Corporation have been terminated as the board makes sweeping changes to bring about profitability. Former Minister Colonel Samuel Asamor says he resigned because he feels that age is catching up with him, and LTA says wheel tax exemption for vehicle owners are out of the question. Time for the FBC opinion poll. This week's question: Does Fiji football need new and young leadership? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's your Tuesday night news. Until tomorrow, good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेणु। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची FM। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।